50 useful phrases to use at school. By learning this lesson, you will be able to know 50 sentences that you can use in your daily life at school. There are many phrases those we talk with our friends and teachers at school. In this video, we are going to see 50 such phrases which help us to improve our spoken skill. I'll definitely pass through, or I'll definitely get through. That means you will definitely pass the exam. He doesn't know anything. If you want to blame your friend, you can say he doesn't know anything. He don't know anything is wrong. He doesn't know anything. We have completed or finished our studies. So, if you have got through your exam and if a friend is asking what are you doing, we have completed our studies. He is good for nothing. That means again you are blaming your friend. He is good for nothing. That means he doesn't know anything. When does our examination begin? It's a normal question that you use when speaking with your friends. When does our examination begin? That means when is your examination? What does this mean? If you don't know about anything, maybe a word, a sentence, or an image, whatever it is, you can ask, what does this mean? I'll pass my ordinary level this year. So if you are going to take your O-level exam this year, you can say, I'll pass my ordinary level this year. I couldn't study anything today. Maybe you are ill, and if you were unable to study that day, you can say, I couldn't study anything today. He failed in his scholarship examination last year. So this is a past event. So you have to use past tense. He failed in his scholarship examination last year. This question is very easy. If your teacher is asking you a question, or maybe your friends or relatives, whoever, if they ask you a question and if you know the answer, you can say, the question is very easy. You have passed the examination. For example, if your friend didn't come to school and you have seen his or her examination result, and when informing them, you can say, you have passed the examination. Why don't you let me study? This is a question. So if a friend or maybe your younger brother or sister, if they are just coming and disturbing you when you are studying, you can say, why don't you let me study? That means leave me to study. I know how to speak English. So here you are emphasizing yourself. I know how to speak English. You can add, I know how to dance. I know how to sing. In which school are you? So if you are asking maybe your tuition class friend, if you want to ask in which school he is, you can ask, in which school are you? In which college are you? He is good at English. If you want to say someone is good at something, you have to use at. He is good in English is wrong. He is good at English. He is good at sports. He is a good sportsman. He is a good musician. He's a good player. So if you want to say that someone is good in something, you can use like that. Your handwriting is not good. So this is obvious when you talk with your friend. You used to tell this, right, children, that your handwriting is not good. Or if the handwriting is very beautiful, you can say your handwriting is very good. So for both, you can change some words and use. What are you looking at? Why don't you pay attention? You can use this sentence when you are explaining something to your student or maybe your friends and they are not listening to you, and sometimes they may be doing something with the phone or they may be looking at somewhere. So you can ask them, what are you looking at? Why don't you pay attention? Our school will be closed for holidays from tomorrow. So if you are about to have your holidays, you can say this. Our school will be closed for vacation from tomorrow also can be used, but mostly vacation is an American term and holidays are the British term. So in Sri Lanka, we used to follow British English, so holidays are even better than vacation. Boys, time is over. Hand in your papers. So this is when you are doing examination, and if the time is up, you can tell them, hand in your papers. The new timetable will come into force from 1st May. So, for example, if you are in a new term or maybe some changes in the school timetable, so you can tell your students that the new timetable will come into force. That means that we are going to use the new timetable. Okay. We are not on speaking terms. That means if you are angry with somebody and you are not talking to each other, so you can tell another friend that we are not on speaking terms. We are not on visiting terms. This means that you don't have a good relationship between both of you or maybe some groups. Mathematics is my bugbear. Bugbear means the problem or the worry. So for some people, mathematics is their bugbear. For some people, English, of course, is a bugbear. So you can say, mathematics is my bugbear. He is junior to me by 1 year. So if you are studying grade 6, the grade 5 students are junior to you by 1 year. So you can say, he is junior to me by 1 year. He is junior to me by 3 years. Who has set this paper? This is also a normal and general question that you use with your friends. If a question paper is hard, you will ask, who has set this paper? This is so tough. Or if the paper is too easy, you will say, who has set this paper? This is very easy paper. So you can ask like that. It is time for school. For example, you are just going to drop your friend. So just imagine that both of you are going together for the school, and if your friend is too late, you can tell, hi Tim, come quickly, it is time for school. The boy recited a poem. So this is also a normal sentence that you can use. He has got a distinction in English. So this is grading, distinction, merit, pass, normal pass. There are many things. So he has got a distinction in English. Have you offered arts or science? So this thing you can't talk with your friend, but if you want to clarify some information from a school or college, you can ask, have you offered arts or science? That you are not clear whether they are giving arts or science. So you can inquire like that. Which books in English have you read? So if you know that your friend is interested in reading books, so you can ask him, which books in English have you read? I'm too tired to attend the class. So this is a really nice sentence that you can use in English. Too. So always, I am too tired, then you have to add to, the short form. I am too tired to attend the class. That means you are so tired, you are unable to attend the class. I read a very interesting book last night. So this sounds like read, but you have to sound read. I read a very interesting book last night. So it's a past tense. He is weak in English. So before we have seen about he is good at English, but this is weak. He is weak in English. In this case, we can't say he is weak at English. Okay, so weak in English, but good at English. You have to have in mind. She has been absent since last week. If your friend is not coming to school from last week, you can say since. She has been absent since last week. I had no time to finish the work. If you didn't have the time, you can say I had no time to finish the work. She takes keen interest in her studies. Keen means very, very, very interest. So she takes keen interest in her studies. If you pass, your parents will be happy. This is a if format. This thing didn't happen yet, but you are telling if you pass, your parents will be happy. It's going to happen in the future. How are you getting on with studies? That means, how are you? Are you studying at home, or whether are you going for the classes? Okay, is it easy for you? So how are you getting on with studies? It's an indirect way of asking how they are doing. I have been in this school for 2 years. So this means that you are in that school for 2 years. The duration is 2 years. Your school is very good. This is a very simple thing. He often runs away from the school. If you have a friend who doesn't like to come to school, you can say he often runs away from the school. Why do you chatter nonsense? That means when a teacher is teaching, or maybe you are talking something seriously, if your friends are talking something unnecessary or irrelevant to the topic, you can say, why do you chatter nonsense? Chatter means talking. I don't have a spare pen. Spare means extra. I don't have an extra pen, or I don't have a spare pen. Stop yapping. Again, yapping is like chatter, talking unnecessary talks. The boy did not come to school. If your friend is absent, you can say, he is the best boy in the class. If you have one boy who is best, you have to use the best. He is the best boy in the class. He is ahead of me in mathematics. That means he is very clever than you. He is ahead of me in English. A good student brings credit to the class. Credits mean fame, a good name. A good student brings credits to the class. He is dropping out of the examination this year. If your friend has planned that he is not going to take the examination, you can say he is dropping out of the examination instead of saying he is not doing the examination this year. Now you are able to speak 50 sentences which you can use in your daily life at school. Thank you.